Welcome back, guys. Today I'll teach you about the JavaDeque and ArrayDeque class. The JavaDeque is an interface, is a linear collection that supports element insertion and removal at both ends. Deque is an acronym for double-ended queue. So the deque is an acronym for double-ended queue, and it can insert and remove at both ends. It is an interface in the linear collection. And after that, the ArrayDeque class provides the facility of using deque and resizable arrays. It inherits abstraction collection class and implements the deque interface. The important points about ArrayDeque class are that unlike queue, we can add or remove elements from both sides, and null elements are not allowed in the ArrayDeque. ArrayDeque is not thread safe in the absence of external synchronization. ArrayDeque has no capacity restrictions, and ArrayDeque is faster than linked list and stack. So here the ArrayDeque class provides the facility of using deque and resizable array. It inherits abstract collection class and implements the deque interface. And we have learned that unlike queue, we can add or remove elements from both sides. Wow, how special is that? Null elements are not allowed in the ArrayDeque, and it has no capacity restrictions, and it is faster than linked list and stack in the collection framework. Alrighty, now let's implement a deque. We'll have a class called class main, and inside it we'll give the main method, and here we say deque, and you can see that we have imported the java.letil.deque interface, and we'll give this give the type string to this interface, and we'll call this dar, and after that we say new ArrayDeque. After that, let's add some values. We'll add Kulesh, we'll add Ramesh, we'll add add Sudesh, and finally we'll add add Senesh. Okay, now let's use the for loop to begin this out. We'll give the type of the for loop as string and call it G, and give it dar, and after that we'll S out it and see the output of the dar deque. We got our deque printed. Well, I went wrong there. We'll have to pass G for here. Now let's run this out. We got Kulesh, Ramesh, Sudesh and Senesh printed as expected of this collection. So we got our values from this deque. Right, now let's see some methods for our deque. We'll have dar.offer, and we'll give a value to this. We say Aravind, and after that we'll S out our deque, and after that we say offer first and give this the value Sam, and after that we'll S out this and see our deque, and after that we say offer last and give a value as Jack, and finally we'll S out our deque again. Let's run this and check the values for offer, offer first and offer last. Here in the first values are printed Kulesh, Senesh, Sudesh and Ramesh. After that, by offer, Aravind was added to the end of the deque. So it printed Kulesh, Senesh, Sudesh, Ramesh and Aravind in the end. And after that, by offer first, Sam was added to as the first element of our deque. So Sam, Kulesh, Senesh, Sudesh, Ramesh and Aravind was printed. And finally, Jack was added as the last value of our deque. So after adding Jack, we got Sam, Kulesh, Senesh, Sudesh, Ramesh and Aravind and Jack printed out. That's how the deque works and how the offer first and offer last methods work in the interface. Now let's see some other methods. We'll see about the poll first and poll last methods. Let's create a class called class main, and here we'll add the main method and we'll give a deque and we'll have it in the type string and call it d and make it equals new ArrayDeque. And we'll add some values d.add dog, d.add cat, d.add elephant, and finally we'll add d.add bat, and we'll add our poll method. Now we say d.poll and after that we say d.poll first, and after that we say d.poll last. In between this we'll have some s out. We'll have an s out here that prints the deque, and after here also an s out to print the deque, and after that finally here we'll have another s out to print the deque. Let's run this and check the output. In the first example, we got cat, elephant and bat printed as expected. So here poll remove dog. That's what the poll method does. It removes the first element and gives the deque. And after that, poll first removed cat. And lastly, poll last removed bat, and we got the only output elephant. So it printed only elephant. Elephant and bat were printed before when the poll first removed the cat. And before that dog was removed by the poll method. That's how the poll and poll first and poll last methods work inside our deque. Now we'll see the remove and remove all methods. We'll say de.remove here, and after that we'll print our deque, and after that we'll say de.remove all and provide our deque, and after that we'll say sout and print our deque. Now let's run this and check the output. We got cat, elephant and bat printed without the dog. What remove does is removes the first element in the deque, and lastly remove all deleted all the elements in the deque. Likewise, let's check the clear method. After clear, what would happen? Let's see. Here, after remove, we remove dog, and after that, by the clear method also, we like the remove all method, we removed all the elements from our DQ. That's how the remove all and clear methods work for our DQ in the Java collection. Now let's see the peek first and peek last methods in action. We'll have an sout that prints de.peek, and then another sout that prints de.peek first, and then we'll have another sout that prints de.peek last. Let's print this and see the output. We got dog, dog and bat. What peek and peek first does is, it returns the first element of the DQ and prints it. So bat was printed because peek last finds the last element and prints it. So that's how the peek first and peek last methods work inside our code. Now we'll see the element method. We'll remove this and we'll have de.element now printed. What will this do? Let's check it out. We got dog. So here element doesn't remove the first element but finds and prints out the first element of our DQ. That's what the element method does. Now let's see a final example for our DQ. Here I have made a book class and have given an int ID, a string name, a string author and a string publisher, and an int quantity. Here after that I have made a constructor, a book constructor. Then made another class and have the main method provided, and I have declared a DQ of type book and called it set. And after that I have created 3 books, B1, B2 and B3, where IDs 1, 2 and 3 are there, and the name of the books are Shannara, Percy Jackson and Eragon. So after that, to the DQ I have added these 3 books, and I have used the enhanced for loop to bring the book value B, book value set with the name B. So after that I have made a sout and given b.id, b.name, b.author, b.publisher and b.quantity. Now let's run this and check the output. We got our values printed. First came Shannara by Brooks, then Percy Jackson by Zebra, Rick and Zebra, and Eragon by Christopher and the publisher Wiley were printed when we ran this code. Alrighty, now I have till here I have taught you about the DQ in Java, the collection framework, and I have taught you some methods associated with the DQ. I hope you got some knowledge about the DQ interface and ArrayDeque class, and this is the end for today's video. I'll meet you with another collection in the collection framework in another video another time. Until then, take care and goodbye guys.